let me tell you something that I believe. I believe everybody has the opportunity to make a difference through generosity and kindness. Now, let me share you a story. My parents had gotten divorced when I was in 4th grade. And at that time, I didn't know really anything about life or what kind of impact that would end up having on me and my brother. My brother being 2 years younger than me. And, going through life, we shared, my parents shared custody of us. And my father and mother were two completely different people. My dad, he was always working. He missed a lot of events, growing up. He just wasn't really there. And when he was there, everything had to be negative. Everything was verbally, mentally abusive from my brother and I. And that caused a lot of different emotions growing up. We weren't really happy unless he wasn't really there. Because when he was home, it was kind of the fear, oh, Dad's pulling in. Every day, 5 o'clock, we were looking out the window. Dad's pulling in, Dad's pulling in. So, my mom, on the other hand, she was a different type of spirit. She was kind of a free spirit, just kind of going through life, influenced by different people that she surrounded herself with. And, that ended up getting her into a lot of trouble later on in life. And I'll finish up with a story that doesn't end so well. But my mom, she would try to discipline us. And, my brother and I, we just kind of walked all over. Unfortunately, at that time, as kids, we didn't really know any different. We just knew that when we came home, we were militant. And we wanted to make sure that we didn't do anything wrong. We wanted to make sure all our chores were done 100%. Just everything. So, growing up through life, my brother and I, basically, we were kind of like home alone kids. My dad went through, 5 marriages in his life. So we had different stepmoms coming in and out of our lives. And, that was tough. So I was kind of in a position where I had to raise my brother. But I didn't really raise him. I was one of those siblings that was a bully. I bullied my brother. If he didn't do what I wanted him to do, I basically would beat him up or make him cry in some shape or form to get him to do what I wanted him to do. Whether it was help with the dishes or, maybe let me play a video game or what have you. So, as we got older and got into high school, we were home less. So, the stress of the home life with my dad was lessened by that because we were hanging out with friends. And the visitation from my mom slowly stopped happening, and it kind of died off. And then as I got into my senior year, that 11th grade summer year, I found a girlfriend who later became my wife. And she had a lot of passion for the Lord, and I had just recently found a good friend that had started taking me to church, and I knew there was something bigger and better, and because of her generosity and kindness, I myself found the Lord, and I was saved. And thank goodness for my girlfriend, who is now my wife, because with her generosity and kindness, she really helped shape me as a person. And because of my life influences, my parents and what I had went through, they shaped the character that I am today. So, the 2 weeks after I graduated high school, my dad came up to my brother and I while we were washing dishes, and he laid a newspaper down in front of us. And I read that and saw that my mom was dead. So I'll tell you a little bit of story why that happened. My mom was influenced by the wrong crowd, and she hung out with the wrong people. And she got heavy into drugs. And in my high school years, when the visitation stopped and started slowing down, that time she had actually been checking herself into a clinic in Cleveland every single day for rehab. She was doing the hard drugs, the ones that kill people. And my dad, on the other hand, he was still that person that put fear into my brother and I, and we just would cringe at the thought of just having to speak with him. Everything that you said, whether it was wow, it's a sunny day, he would say, but it's going to rain. If he said, hey, I'm doing great in football, well, you're not fast enough. You're not strong enough still. You need to lift weights. So there's always this negativity. And if we were ever disciplined, not only was it negative, but it was very physically and mentally and verbally abusive in a way where I decided early on in that part of my life that when I have kids, or even if I don't have kids, I vow to never be this type of person. So because of my dad, I'm thankful for the character that I am in that regard. And, looking at everything through the eyes of somebody who could be kind and generous. And being generous meaning giving or doing something for somebody without the expectation of any type of return. Now my mother, she had been going to that rehab, and now she was still on drugs at the time, but it was a system in which you would kind of wean yourself off. So she had been traveling, and she'd gotten pulled over, and they found out there was some type of warrant for arrest. I believe it was a missed court date or something of that nature, and they put her in jail. And that next morning when they went in to get her, she was not alive. She was no longer with us, and she had a heart attack. Symptoms of the withdrawal forced complications with her heart, and she passed away at the age of 42, 2 weeks after I graduated high school. And with what I was going on at that time, just after high school, being and dating my girlfriend, and really having all that love and kindness, and how she showed me all the things that she did in her actions that were generous, kind, and giving, and she made differences in people's lives, truly made differences. The simple act of giving somebody a card when they're sick, or making them cookies when somebody was having a rough time, just to help lift their spirits. And you know what? She never wanted anything in return. And I said, that's the type of person I want to be. I want to be that person. And I learned through my parents, and I'm thankful for my parents, because they kind of showed me the people that I did not want to be. And they helped shape and form and mold my character and what I truly wanted to inspire to be. And that was somebody who could make a difference through kindness and generosity. And I look back at that moment, and it's replayed all the time in my life, where I said I was in a position where I could have made a difference in my mom's life. And that difference could have kept her here today. Fast forward, thinking back at that situation, I say it was because I didn't make a difference that something that happened to her made a difference in me. And after that happened, my brother took it pretty hard. And he was kind of heading in that same direction, hanging out with the wrong people, getting into drugs, and not the heavy drugs that my mom, finished with, but getting into that, and alcohol, and just kind of living that party, careless lifestyle. And I took and lived my life in a way that I showed people, and I showed him what it meant, and I helped coach him through some life situations that he was going through that helped pull him away from that same destination that he was going to. And even though there were small parts in his life and small differences, the big difference is that he didn't end up taking the same path as my mom. He didn't end up taking the same path as my dad. In a lot of ways, he's the same type of person that I am. But we don't really act the same or have the same type of mindset in our day-to-day lives. But he's very successful in where he's at. He has 2 children just like I do. He has a wife, and he's doing really well for himself. And for that, and for the difference that I made is very important to me, and that helped shape and influence my life, to say, you know what, I want to make a difference. And it's not just making a difference by doing something for somebody. It's showing people, just in your random acts of kindness, holding a door open for somebody, allowing somebody to walk the crosswalk if you're driving, yielding to a pedestrian. Just those simple acts of kindness. And that's why our purpose within our company of everyone has the right to a well-furnished life really ties in with my purpose and my beliefs. When I say I believe everyone has the opportunity to make a difference or be a difference through generosity and kindness, that really ties in with our purpose. If I'm making furniture shopping easy, which is Value City Furniture's vision, if I make furniture shopping easy for somebody by, getting them information or just being available for questions and assisting them, and that's a motion of kindness, right? That's making it easy for them. Because if I'm there to answer their questions, they can appreciate that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, but I'm also there to help them. And helping somebody is being a difference. It's making a difference for somebody. If I'm not there to help them, what would be the outcome? I wouldn't be making furniture shopping easy, and I wouldn't be providing a well-furnished life for my customer if I'm not there to assist them. But truly being a difference, going above and beyond somebody's expectations, is doing great work. And I think that has a lot to do with the tie-in of my message. How can I make a difference? How can I be the difference? How can I set the tone to truly inspire an emotion, a feeling of making a difference in somebody's life? Just being kind, being generous. You know, maybe that person's going through a rough day that you don't know, that's walking through our stores. And because they said they're just looking, and they kind of put you off because they're having a bad day, maybe the next time you approach that customer, you walk up to them with a bottle of water, or offer them some type of snack, even if it's from the vending machine. Maybe you brought in cookies for people in the back, for people in the warehouse, and you say, you know what, I'm going to go offer this customer a cookie, because at the end of the day, it's a people business. We're in the business to sell furniture. That's the result. That sale of the furniture and that commission check, that's the result of what we do. It's a people business. We're customer service. We're here to serve the customer. And we're here to make a difference. And I truly believe that. So I ask you, and I ask each and every one of you, to think about a time that you made a difference in somebody's life. And what are you going to do today to be the difference?